Oh, we're live. There we go. Absolute chaos.
Yeah, it is.
Beaver, Stephen Donald, mate, yes. What a game. What a game. Let's just start with that.
Yeah, I mean, 12-11. It obviously wasn't a free-flowing game, but conditions, we mentioned how wet it was going to be, but the Springboks took pre-game. They get out to a lead. Very, very tough team to run down, and the All Blacks had their chances. They had their chances to probably win it, but as far as drama in a World Cup final, had it all.
1 point.
1 point.
1 point, red card, yellow card, could have been a red, could have been a yellow, could have been nothing. Chaos.
Absolute chaos, and I guess from their only hooker in the squad, he was injured after 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And straight away, as an All Black fan, you thought, well, here's an opening. You know, they got by without it, and you got to give it to them. They hung tough because at times in the second half, the All Blacks started to play. I mean, Richie Mo'unga's disallowed, well, Aaron Smith's disallowed try. I thought, here we go. But disallowed, and then the Springboks, they just keep hanging in there.
Yeah. I don't even know who I was supporting in that game. Like, genuinely, it was like one of them where you've got two very special teams going at it, two very different routes to the final. There's a part of me that feels like this South Africa team deserve it on that, and I know you know more than anyone, having won it before, you get what you deserve. You know what I mean? If you deserve to win, but the route that they've taken, Beaver, to get to this point, the route that they've had, the games that they've had to play, has been phenomenal. Yeah,
I mean, you look at their pool, Ireland, Scotland, what wasn't an easy pool, and then, you know, say what you want about England, but they beat France, they beat England, who we all know England could turn up and beat someone in a big game, and they've got the players and the nous to do it. They get through that, and then you go All Blacks. I mean, you know the history of the World Cup better than I do. I don't know if anyone's had a tougher run to the title.
No, they haven't. We said that South Africa haven't had a tougher run. No team's had a tougher run to the semi-final to get to that point. So this is the toughest route. They've done it the hard way, and they've gone back-to-back. Just how special are this Springboks team?
Well, I mean, when you talk about back-to-back, there was moments in that game that you were starting to look at guys like Steph, guys like Ches and Colby, Dwayne Van Meulen, and you're thinking back, well, they did it 4 years ago, and all of a sudden they just turned the line again. It was quite incredible who stood up for them. Obviously Pollard, everyone, you know, raised some eyebrows that Pollard was going to start. Well, I mean, off for tee on a night like this, he didn't look like missing.
That's the one thing you should question. So I think it was Lawrence Delalio that was telling me that no one has scored against the Springboks in a final. I know that the All Blacks scored a try, but they weren't disallowed. They weren't opting for the sticks. They were opting to try and break this team down by scoring tries. So tactically, did they play it wrong? I know. Look, you know, we can go through the archives of it. It doesn't really matter. But it's a 1 point game. You lose your captain. They're going all out against one of the best defences, the best teams in the world that are almost impossible to score against in these games. My word.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's brilliant. There were times there when I could tell the flow.
Well done, Faf. Unbelievable.
Well done, buddy.
Unbelievable, mate.
I can understand why they win it, but now we look back and we take 3 points on the 50-minute mark, then suddenly you're only 3 points down, then another penalty, you bring it back. But I can understand the flow of it. They had momentum. Sia was off. Maybe they thought, right, we're going to get a line-out drive or something like that. I can understand it, but hindsight will probably tell you, well, should we take it through?
Of course. We don't need to go into the detail of the game. Let's just a few standout things that come out of this from an All Blacks perspective, and then we'll double down, we'll triple down on the World Cup champions. Ian Foster. Where does he go after this now? He's taken the All Blacks to the final. Yes, an easier route, but the way that he's conducted himself, the way that he's managed the team, getting them to a final, a 1 point game between the two of them, like, he comes out of this. Where does Ian Foster go? Surely he'll be one of the most sought-after coaches. Obviously, Rassie's looking like he's going to stay. Jack Nienaber is now off to Leinster. Like, Ian Foster, just a few lines on.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, I've got a long history of Fozzie from a Chiefs career, and the dignity that he's held himself through all of this year to get them to where they have now. As you say, they're 1 point over from being world champions tonight. You know, so that's incredible. I'd say there'd be a few national unions probably wanting him. I don't know if he's got the appetite to go again on a head job, but I imagine there'll be plenty of consultancy jobs. But you hear the boys talk about him, there's a love for him, and he's certainly a player's coach.
So, and again, you can just say no comment. I can take it with that. I'm a big Razor fan. Scott Robertson, what he's done. Is it wrong that the union have gone about it like that, or do you think it's maybe a positive because it's just given them a kind of closed?
I think Razor's going to be wonderful for the All Blacks, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with us and what he can do for the country as far as getting a vibe back. There's a bit of I guess divide amongst it, but no, absolutely you can't fault what Fozzie's done, and Razor's going to be his own man. It's going to be a completely different show under Razor, but for right now you've got to tip your hat to Fozzie and everything that he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the great All Blacks just walking behind us doing the rounds. They've not gone into the changing rooms. They've handled themselves with great integrity, the way they've gone about their business. Beaver, you know, you see Sam Kane's face there. He's absolutely devastated to go off and to get red card. And we were sat there. Is it a red card? Is it a yellow card? We've seen worse. We've seen worse in the tournament. For me, it was one of them where you could have given him a yellow and deal with it Monday. People might not like that. You know, and we were talking as well, and people are talking about it. Would the World Cup come down to a red card? But South Africa went down to 14. Sia went in the bin. Cheslin at the end went in the bin as well.
Well, unfortunately, we all thought that could be a possibility. That's where the game was potentially going to go, that a big red card potentially could decide the World Cup. I feel for Sam Cane. I was hoping that this was going to be his moment to really, you know, show people.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just seeing the boys here. Congratulations, mate. You're right.
Well done, mate. Well done, mate.
Well done. Cheers, Vinny. Played with Vinny at Saracens. Lovely. But how good was he last week in the semi?
Absolutely. I mean, the series thing just runs so deep around here, doesn't it, eh? I mean...
Sorry to interrupt anyway. It's just obviously as we get the players go by, you can just feel the emotion. What are they feeling? What are the Springboks feeling?
The feeling that...
Just try and describe it.
It's 15, 20 minutes, 35 minutes of your life that you're never going to replicate again. I mean, some of these boys have done it twice now, but it's an amazing thing. Well done, Willie.
Well done, lads. Unreal.
It's an amazing feeling. You feel like you're floating around, almost like you're on a cloud, almost out of body. You're just floating around on adrenaline. You're stuffed because you played the hardest 80 minutes of your life, but somehow you're finding the energy to enjoy this moment. I mean, you cannot repeat this moment.
Is it so? Is it the moment when the whistle goes, the relief?
Yes.
The whole experience, the changing room, the families. We've seen them on the pitch with the kids.
Well,
this man, mate, you've been unbelievable, Quagga. Absolutely sensational. Well done, Andy. Well done, mate. Andy, fully deserved. So Andy Edwards there was another Saracen.
Oh.
I know, another Saracen. Obviously has done what he's done.
I didn't realise there were so many South Africans at Saracen.
I know. Mate, can we just grab a word? Can we just grab a word just on this side? We're going to put you in front of this board just here because these are the sponsors. Just come this side. Because I know, but I tell you why, Aki, because last week when I pulled you and we spoke to you and we had a chat with you, the questions were really poor. What you've had to come through, what you've personally been through with your injury to now stand here, but you scored last week in the semi, you made a huge difference. Just give us an idea on how you're feeling right now.
I think it's going to take a couple of days to actually sit, you know, but it's honestly, it's been such a tough road for me over the last 4 years, and I've actually missed most of the rugby over the past 4 years with the Springboks, but it's such a great opportunity for me to be back with this team and with this squad. It really means everything to me, and you know, to be standing here tonight with this around your neck and just what we achieved tonight as a team together is something really fucking special, you know.
Unbelievable. And I don't mind you swearing on here. You can say whatever you want. Just me and Beaver's obviously, I say me and Beaver were chatting about it because he's won it. When the final whistle goes, it's a 1 point game. Can you describe that feeling? Just give us a kind of sense of what that feels like.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. We were constantly looking up there at the end, you know, because it was really tough there towards the end as well, you know, with those scrums. But honestly, just so relieved to pull it through there at the end.
Mate, you are a South African legend. You go down in history now as a world champion with everything you've been through as well. You should be incredibly proud. Absolute legend. Yeah. Franco, well done, mate. Well done. Well done, mate. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well done, mate.
Jesse, I think we're getting you. Come here. Come here. Let's have a chat with you properly. Yeah, come on. You can ask some questions as well, Beaver, if you want.
I don't know if I'm professional enough.
Yeah, you are.
Jess,
by the way.
Greatest fishing trip you've ever been on?
Definitely yours. Yeah. I was just about to ask. We need to organise another one soon.
We're going to do one soon, mate.
Yeah.
But, mate, what a day. I mean, didn't get to play the final in Japan, part of the squad. Now to experience this, what's it like, mate?
Yeah, mate, it's hard to put into words. I think we've spoke about it the last 3 weeks. I mean, didn't get a chance 4 years ago, but we're still part of it. And then just to be on the field tonight just makes it extra special. And I'm just so proud of the guys. The last 3 weeks, just fighting through the last 3 games, 1 point each game, and it's amazing.
Sorry, I'm just, we're trying to open up to the camera because Beaver's coming. No more question. I'm hugging a world champion here. It doesn't matter. Jesse, genuinely, mate, you have been sensational in this tournament. Absolutely amazing. You're injured last time round. That was right. I'm right in saying if it goes, is that what happened? Just describe what it's like having not just played a little part, which I know that's important, having played such a huge part in this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it's the beauty of the squad. I think it's never about the individual. And when one guy gets, when one, we call it the V formation. When one bird gets injured, the next one flies in and takes over the role. So I think it was just special how the guys, I suppose, just stepped up and got the job done. And yeah, I think it's a really special group of people, and it's not always the best people, but it's the right people. So that's been awesome. Yeah.
So not only world champion, but you're also going to go down as the best rig. In rugby, right?
I don't know. Beaver's
I don't know. The ankles are looking a bit big, mate. We'll let you get on. Legend, mate. Absolutely amazing. World champion, eh?
Good to see you again.
Class.
Enjoy it, mate.
Class. You're going to have to give me a bit of help here. So do I need to open up more? Is that it? I can't hear you. Can't hear what you're saying. Got no idea. You want him to stand here? Right.
Over here.
There we go. No, we're not. We can stand in front of here if you want. These are the sponsors of the World Cup.
Oh, sorry.
You can't do it without the sponsors.
You don't have a game without sponsors.
Should we just stand here for a little bit? Or not? We can do that. Yeah. Does the Springbok team go down as the 4? That's 4 World Cups now.
Well, it's 4, but this team pretty essentially won 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like, it is, when you look at it, it is essentially the same team from Tokyo. And that's the incredible thing. They are very impressive outfit, and you talk to a few people in the game.
Yeah, we'll go just back it. We'll go back as well.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much. Dad's a world champion. How cool's that? Sorry, go on.
No, well, they're building their own depth. Like, they reckon the structures now in South Africa, they're going to be here, they're not going to fade away. They're going to be here for a long time. So who knows how many they could win not on the trot. The All Blacks will win the next one, of course. But
well, you went back to back. As a team, you went back to back.
Yep.
That kind of cements the legacy from being a great team to this dynasty that people
100%.
talk about. But then to go from 3 to 4, the All Blacks have had 3, the Springboks had 3, now they're on 4. Can you bring yourself to say it and say this is the greatest rugby team?
No, never. No, I mean, this group, as I said, this group's won 2 World Cups, back to back, essentially the same team. You've got to tip your hats to them. You've got to tip your hats to Rusty and the crew. They're an impressive outfit, and they've done it in their own way. And that's the thing you got to admire about. They do it their own way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to absorb it here as the heavens have opened. Like the fans as well from South Africa, they speak about the difficulties that they have there in a country.
We've got to stand in the right place, don't I?
We're getting
I'm over here now,
aren't we? We're all over the place. I'm here. We've got spots on the floor here. That's what we do. We're getting absolutely drenched.
I can't even hear you now.
But they talk about the fans. And I know it's been a bit easier because there's more South African fans kind of spread around Europe and stuff like that. But just like everything they go through, I know they speak about the hardships that they've been through and stuff like that. But they're a special bunch, aren't they? They're an interesting bunch. There's a guy smashing the board over here. He's not stopped. His hand must be in absolute pieces. But they're an interesting bunch, aren't they? And there's a tribalism around this team.
And it's remarkable that a tribalism for a country as big as they are. And I've seen the videos of whole big screens, whole townships around the big screens. And yes, because I was going to get late here today, I had to jump on the train with them. And my word, that was an experience.
You said late. You said late. Get late.
I was going to get late. Oh,
get late. He's going to get late.
I was going to get late on the train.
Of course. What do we do after this, Beaver? So this is RugbyPass TV, right?
Yes.
You're going back to New Zealand. I'm going back to Scotland. What happened next week?
I mean, Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, because the players will be on the downer, won't they? Obviously,
Yeah.
the All Blacks having not won it, even the Springboks as well, having been world champions. Where do you go? Where does rugby go from here? Like,
Well,
I know it's a wider conversation. There's,
yes.
you know, there's talk of, well, there's not talk. We're expanding the World Cup, whether or not you like it or not. You've got the Nations Cup. That's divided opinion in terms of how that is. I think there needs to be a globalisation of the season as well. We need to align things. This has been epic. The fact that I've been stood here with you, I've been stood here with some Springbok legends, other All Blacks legends as well. We've had Irish fans, commentators, and it's been the way that we've managed, not just us on RugbyPass TV and the Big Jim Show, but as a sport of bringing people together. We've surely got to try and now capitalise on that.
Absolutely, and you talk about the sport, like people can, sometimes if you get a bad game of rugby, people are quick to kick it. But when you talk about that quarter-final weekend, you talk about the finale we had here, we have a wonderful, wonderful product. And you're right, we've got to build on this. There's still some stuff we need to iron out as a game. And yep, they've expanded the World Cup and they've done the Nations Cup, and again, like, divided opinion. But as a sport, you can't beat it when it's played like that. And you can't beat that quarter-final weekend. I mean, those 280 minutes is as good as sport gets, Jim.